the Terminator. Kyle Reese, played by Michael Biehn, sent back in time from 2029 to 1984 to protect Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton. However, a cyborg disguised as an actual human being, which is called the Terminator, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, also travels back in time to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor. Because her son, John Connor, is basically the guy who will protect the world and stop the merciful computer programming Skynet. What can I say about this movie? Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say about this movie? It is fucking amazing. It is balls to the wall, a sci-fi action thriller. And you're telling me, wait a minute, sci-fi action thrillers are not really much horror. Check the release date, ladies and gentlemen, October 26, 1984. That is a horror movie, people. Anything that's from October that is a creep factor for me is part of horror. Now let's get completely into the actual reasons why I love this movie. Let's just say it has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8 out of 10 in IMDb. 93% of these people like it on Google users. I cannot stress how good this movie is. Combining the practical effects with the stop motion shows how good it is. And the fact that this Terminator getting shot, blown up, destroyed, shotgun blast, and like basically exploded and broken into pieces, it still keeps going. It doesn't stop. And the fact too, Arnold plays the part so well. I never seen something that creepy. The Terminator is cold, vicious, rude. It will only have its actions with its fists, not with its voice. And the fact that it has a cold stare shows it here. The fact that it also has to get guns by killing a gun owner shows how crazy it is as well. And the enjoyability of this movie is amazing. The fact that a killer machine, which is called the T-800, Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, this shows how good it is. James Cameron made a thriller that was amazing, and I loved it. And then came out Terminator 2, Terminator 3, and so on and so forth, except only James Cameron dealt with Terminator 1 and 2 and Dark Fate. But however, we all know how bad Dark Fate have gotten. But I still consider this one probably one of the best. 2 is more action-packed than it is a thriller. This is a thriller and horror that you can never see. The fact also, too, you can see the Terminator's, like, actual vision shows how cool it is, too. And it basically, it has to kill somebody who's the name of Sarah Connor. But it always picks the wrong Sarah Connor. It is classic how it does that. It's just crazy how it does it. It's a lovely movie to watch. I highly recommend it for these effects, the wonderful action, but also the cold drama of a nuclear holocaust happening because we created a supercomputer. This is why I don't trust governments. This is why Dom's vlogs never trust governments. But I'll tell you what I do trust is this movie. How wonderful it is. And the fact, too, that the Terminator knows how to use every military weapon firearm is incredible. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is a perfect ideal of a Terminator. He's big, he's strong, and he has that cold expression, which I like. And the fact that he stares and slowly turns his head is what really gives me the willies every time I see it. And I enjoy it because of that. I enjoy this movie. Now, there are a couple of things I had to keep out of YouTube due to YouTube's terms of services. So basically, parts of Arnold, mostly they've hidden it pretty well in this movie, but mostly the scenes where they're all naked, that's against YouTube's terms of services, so I had to cut those out. But everything else is fair play. I can care less about the MPAA caring about the blood and stuff. You know, I do love this movie because of it. And the kills are brutal. They are literally brutal and gory. I love them. They're not too gory, but they're gory enough. And it was gory. It was crazy. And the fact that it was also the 80s, it also shows how the 80s felt too. I you know me, I've never was born in the 80s. 1984 to be more exact. Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor did a good change to in Terminator 2, but being like a little whiny like girl that was probably couldn't even balance a checkbook to a freaking badass in Terminator 2. I can still say it. She still kicks ass in Terminator 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800 is wonderful. And the fact, too, is that there's times it doesn't end with much of a happy ending. Kyle Reese dies, the Terminator gets squashed, and Linda Hamilton is now, pregnant with John Connor. So, yeah, this movie is a must-see. Now, must-see for HorrorVision? Yeah. Must-see for everything else? Abso-fucking-lutely. This movie is a movie that I will recommend to everybody. Everybody who loves sci-fi action thrillers.
Get out.